All right, so the 2's come from the 4, the 3's come from the 9. All right, now we just have to, again, make our equations. Okay, we want to figure out what we could plug in for these x's here and here that would make each parenthesis come out to 0. So if we'd subtract 2. I'm just going to kind of go through this, okay? Tell me if you guys can follow this. Okay, right here, we would subtract 2. That would make it a negative 2. That would get rid of that. Then we'd have to divide by 3. So that's going to make it negative 2 over 3. Does that make sense how I did that in my head? I don't want you guys to feel like you have to write the steps every time. Did you say that didn't make sense, Aurelius? Okay, so all I was doing is like in my head, I was thinking like I was going through the steps of solving this equation. So like for this equation right here, the first thing I'd have to do is subtract 2. So that means on the right side, I would end up with a negative 2 first. Because 0 minus 2 would give me the negative 2. So that would turn into that. And this would be gone. And then, because I have the 3x in the front, we'd have to divide what we're left with by 3 to cancel that 3 out. Meaning, we'd have to divide whatever was on the right by 3. And so then, x would be by itself, and that would be one of our answers. Nice, Nancy. Yep, so like what Nancy says here, the number that doesn't have an x is going to be on top. So like for this right one, we'd have to add the 2 over. So it's going to be a positive 2 on top, and then the number with the x is what goes on bottom. Because that's the one we're going to have to divide by at the end. If you always think about it, whenever we have a 3 times an x or something like that, we always have to divide by the number at the end to get rid of it. So that's why the number in front of the x is what goes on bottom. So you could write, each of your 2 answers, or you could write it like this, plus or minus 2/3.